Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Talking with Jeff Garlin, who coincidentally also wrote a book about his experiences with the paranormal.
By the way, no kidding around.
Yeah.
Speaking of ghosts, I was filming a movie in Seattle last week.
Of course you were.
In a hotel that was haunted. Guy walked through my room dressed like a pagoda. No. And while I was in bed, the ghost pushed down the corner of my bed. See, I believe
he was tucking you in. The ghost was tucking you in.
No, it just pushed down the corner.
It was able
and
to.
What
about the fact there was a fish marathon going on?
A fish marathon, right from the Jesse marathon.
That's a lot of marathons, man. He's
well,
glued.
no, I want you a Fish and Jesse going back to back.
That's a full day.
That's a full day.
That's a must-see TV.
That's must-see TV for our network.
Jesse and Christina.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, so I was saying before you came on, the Blackhawks just won. You're a Chicago guy.
Yep,
Congrats.
very exciting.
First time I ever saw you on TV, 94-ish. You were on Conan O'Brien wearing a Blackhawks jersey. That's the first time I ever saw you.
And you know what? The NHL actually gave me that jersey to wear on Conan.
So you remember?
Because my friend was used to be one of the vice presidents of the NHL.
Nice.
Oh, no kidding.
And they gave me the jersey to wear on the show.
That's cool.
I remember.
I wore a Florida Panthers one another time.
Oh, you did? Well, I remember the Blackhawks one. I remember vividly. I remember you were very funny. You were very funny. I remember saying that to myself. But
they let me, which was really nice. Nobody knew. Here's the thing. When I used to do Conan and I used to be roommates.
Was that right?
Yes, and he and Robert Smigel, who was the producer, and I are all old friends.
It's a funny room.
And they felt that I shouldn't do stand-up on the show, that I should just come out and sit down. Now, understand, nobody knows who I am.
Right.
I'm coming and sitting down like the way Richard Lewis went on Letterman.
right,
And Jay Leno.
Richard Lewis on Letterman was God, amazing. Man.
Really funny.
As good as it gets.
And they let me on Conan sort of have that life,
right?
Which was really nice.
It worked
because normally first timers go up and do the stand up.
Yeah, usually when you're somebody that people don't know and you're stand up, you're doing a set,
right?
You know,
and then you hope he comes over and shakes your hand or acknowledges you or whatever, like Johnny used to do.
Yeah.
It worked great, though. I mean, you guys can tell it worked out well. I mean, Chicago. I know you spent. I saw you on the Wait Till Next Year documentary on HBO. Do you still have a place in Chicago?
I have an apartment in Chicago. I just sang last week, Take Me Out the Ball Game.
Now,
I actually wore a Mexican wrestling mask. Well, they were showing
Macho Libre?
Like one of those. They were showing that it was going to be a giveaway for the bleachers, which is the most brilliant idea ever, that they're going to give away these. See how bad the team is right now. So they're giving away Mexican wrestling matches to the bleachers sometime in August.
Right.
And so it's sitting there, and I just put it on when I walked in there, and someone said, "Are you going to sing with that on?" And I go, "Yeah,
why not?"
Yeah, exactly. And so I did.
Well, now you're very funny in Wait Till Next Year because you describe how ridiculous the Cubs curse is compared to the Red Sox
is the stupidest curse ever.
The Red Sox, Babe Ruth, a legitimate thing, $100,000. They sell them. It's
the
a
greatest
real
player
scandal
of all time.
Right, and
is sold to your arch enemy.
And
No Nanette, right? Isn't that the Broadway show, right?
Explain what the Cubs curse.
Okay, let's
break it down.
The goat.
In 1945, when the curse started,
them in Detroit,
where people, the Detroit Tigers with Chicago Cubs, Wrigley Field. This was a time where men wore suits to the ball game, straw hats. Ladies wore white dresses, umbrellas.
It could be 200 degrees.
Yes. Some restaurateur who never had any magical powers decided that he wanted to bring his goat. His pet goat.
One time he saw a guy in a tux in the restaurant.
He wanted to bring his goat to Wrigley Field.
Was he dating the goat or just decided?
No, this is
legit.
Yeah, legit.
Okay.
Pet goat from his restaurant, and
the most ridiculous thing you could possibly imagine.
Well, think about it today. People dress like pigs. Right. Imagine if you want to come in and bring your kitty cat.
Right.
They're going to say,
get out.
Get
right.
out.
Yeah.
He wanted to bring a goat in the days of suits. So then he says, I put a curse on you.
Yeah.
I put a curse on the Cubs.
You'll never win a game.
You'll never win a game. And he suddenly has magical powers?
Right.
No. Here's the reason the Cubs have stunk for years.
Let's hear it.
Their original owner, William Wrigley, didn't believe in minor league baseball as a way to feed his major league
and
team.
back then, that was a bad move. But before free agency,
but you know what he felt about
that.
minor league baseball? That on its own, it should have been a hit.
Right.
So he never cared about feeding the Cubs.
Right.
He wanted a successful minor league.
So it was about
itself.
just making money as an organization,
Making
no matter
money.
what. And he wasn't a good baseball guy. He was
No,
smart.
and so they would make bad decision after bad decision.
Right.
Then, once they started making good decisions, let's say Dallas Green in 1984, or even the Cubs in '69, which was more, it just lucked out.
Yeah.
Even though they had all these Hall of Famers. What happens is, and this happens, it happened in '89, it happened in the '90s, the players will not acknowledge that it's been 9 zillion years and there's a bit of pressure.
Right.
You have to embrace the pressure and say, this is ridiculous.
Say it
This
in
is
an
a
interview.
lot.
Like, I know,
exactly.
yeah.
I remember the Cubs had a pitcher named Rich Hill, who I think is on the Indians now. And Rich Hill was pitching the opening game in the playoffs versus the Diamondbacks.
Pretty good pitcher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially then, he had a lot of potential. He said, it's like any other game. I turned to my friend, we lost.
Makes you nauseous.
His first pitch, home run to Chris Young.
like
No, you're
any
right. It
other
really does.
game.
I
You
could
gotta
not agree with you
acknowledge it.
more.
You gotta
And that's why
acknowledge
the
it.
cooler they try to look, like A-Rod tries to look just so cool every time he's up. Acknowledge the pressure. And if you fail, acknowledge our pain a little bit. Like 17 hours after striking out every single time with the bases loaded, including the last time in the playoffs, 17 hours later, he's in Miami humping
don't
Cameron
let-
Diaz in the paper. We got to
let
look
me-
at that.
Yeah, don't let me see you in the club.
He's dry humping Heather Locklear by a pool. And we're, going to Queens.
Wait, hold on a second here. Really imagine him dry humping Heather Locklear by a pool.
I've seen it
You actually saw it?
in my nightmares.
In your nightmares. Why Heather Locklear of all people? It's not even like he dated her.
Here's my impression of him and Cameron Diaz by his pool.
Okay.
Cameron, did you see the game? No, which one were you? I was the one who struck out every single time with the bases loaded. Wow, what did they pay you for that? Here's the good part. $32 million. Wow. Then he just bangs it.
Yes. Yes.
It's annoying. What do you think of the steroid? Do you think A-Rod should be in the Hall of Fame? Roger Clemens should be in the Hall of Fame? Where do you stand
None
on
of them.
it? None of them.
None
so
of
you're
them.
a really Robert Wall, good friend of ours. He's a guy who says Hall of Fame ridiculous. It was a money-making commercial thing in the beginning. It's not a big deal. These guys, they should
I
be
think
in.
that's what the All-Star game is. The All-Star game is a bunch of crap. Now.
I think so too, but I
do
think the
believe
Hall
in
of
the
Fame
Hall
has become something you revere. And
Exactly.
Robert of all people says no. He's like, I don't believe in that at all. And I think he's skewed by the fact that he met every athlete on Curb.
On
Arliss.
On our. And now he likes them. He did the thing a comedian can never do. He met the people he likes to make fun of, and if they're nice, you can't do it
that's
anymore.
what Dennis Miller did.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard.
The thing about comedians, you have to point out hypocrisy wherever it exists.
Right.
And the minute you team up with a side,
That's it.
not
You're done.
funny.
You're right.
Over.
You can't I don't want to meet Kelly Ripa. I don't want to meet her.
I actually
And you probably
co-hosted with her.
love her, right?
She actually was very nice.
Okay, whatever.
But by the way,
Sure,
if you want
she's
to make fun of,
fantastic.
by the way, is that actually your target, Kelly Ripa?
I'm going. I take
Are they
risks.
low targets?
I take risks.
You take risks. You do it. By the way, a risk would be doing it a whole hour on Kelly Ripa, like diving into Kelly Ripa. Every
No, I've
aspect.
done an hour.
Yeah, on Kelly Ripa.
She's a little too full of herself. I know you love her, but
I don't watch the
Kelly
show,
Ripa's
though.
one of these broads who, she fishes for a compliment. She'll go to Tyra Banks will be sitting there. You look beautiful. Not like me. Not like me. I look terrible. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Yes. These are Louboutins. No, she's phony. I know you love her.
Okay.
I know you
Have you met her?
You have brunch with her. I did. I sat with her at Howard's wedding. I sat next to her.
Oh, really?
And she was being overly nice to me.
Does she know that you made fun of her or no?
By this point, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Oh, maybe not. She might have forget who I am.
Are you still dating Sheena Easton?
I've been in those sugar walls. Yeah, Sheena East.
No, I don't think any of these guys should be in the Hall of Fame. None.
Has that happened to you? Let's discuss that.
What's that?
Was there any celebrity you met that you made fun of that you were upset you met them because you wanted to keep making fun of them?
No, it's not as much on stage because I really on stage. I think I used to make fun of. Right now, I make fun of what's his name who directed the Transformer movies.
Michael Bay.
Bay.
First of all, I know him. Great guy.
My podcast, his movies seem to come up. I've never seen one of his movies, but I know
They're
I hate
horrendous.
them. They're horrible.
Horrendous.
So I bring him up on occasion, but generally, like Whoopi Goldberg. for example, was somebody that I didn't really. I gave Bob Odenkirk a joke years ago. Bob Odenkirk wrote a joke.
Hilarious.
Great on Breaking Bad.
Great on Breaking Bad.
And he's in my new movie. He's amazing.
Larry Sanders Show.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
That's right.
So Bob Odenkirk wrote a joke once. This is what we felt. He and I were watching. This is a long time ago. We were like 2 o'clock in the morning in his apartment on 72nd Street. He's writing for SNL at the time, and I was, comedian here in town. And we're watching Lifestyles Rich and Famous, and Whoopi Goldberg was on, and Bob starts screaming at the screen. What does she do? What does she do? And like over and over, screaming. So he wrote a joke for Dennis Miller about the government was investigating Whoopi Goldberg because on her W-4 form she put actress. Anyhow, this is actually a funny story. Anyhow, it didn't get past dress. It didn't work. Okay, because people love Whoopi Goldberg. Okay, so in the hallway on Monday or Tuesday, Dennis Miller, in front of Al Franken, says to Bob Odenkirk, "Hey Odie, I'm sorry that your Whoopi Goldberg joke didn't make it," and
dripping with sarcasm.
He was being serious.
Right.
And Al Franken says, I didn't get that joke," and Bob goes, "What does she do?" And Al Franken goes immediately, "Have you ever seen Clara's Heart?" And Bob goes, "No, what does she do?" And they got into a yelling thing of
Wait, Al Franken was being serious.
Yes, totally serious.
As a dramatic actress, maybe you can make an argument.
So months later, I found Clara's Heart on VHS. I gave it to Bob, and he put it on Franken's desk. Anyhow, point being is, I've never taken Whoopi Goldberg seriously, what have you. And
You don't like Jumping Jack Flash?
No, and also the whatchamacallit, the comedy thing.
Sister Act.
How about Eddie, the one where she was the Knicks coach?
The thing where they help the homeless.
Comic Relief.
Comic Relief.
Yeah, you ever hear Rodney's line about that?
What?
They offered Rodney that, and he said, "Screw the homeless. What they ever do for the Jews?"
God bless Rodney. Anyhow, I met her. The nicest.
Yeah.
And it made me nuts.
I met her too. I did Hollywood Squares once. She was so nice. But you know the great Sam Kinison joke? Supposedly Sam Kinison said this at the Comedy Store, like explaining her career. Like, America got together and decided not to hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah, I know that joke. It's a great joke.
I thought that's what you were going to say.
But then she also had like her radio show and
everything.
The TV show. And she had me on all this stuff, and she couldn't have been more supportive and nice, and
sweet.
It made me nuts.
Did you feel bad?
No, I didn't feel bad because I didn't spend much time in my show making fun of her. But still, I wanted her to
the opportunity.
I wanted her.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, you can't.
So you can justify it.
I apologize.
Can't take you anywhere.
But I tell you what, Whoopi Goldberg is one of those people where, like, when I look at her perform, like the one man.
Well, how could you not?
One woman show.
Yeah.
One woman show for HBO. I look. It's kind of like, who's the Spanish guy who does the creep, the pest?
John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo.
Yep. Another example. Very, like, him, Whoopi Goldberg, I look at him and go, they're very talented people, but they'll never make me laugh. I'll just never laugh.
No, because they're not funny.
Right. They're not funny people. They're talented people.
They're talented, but they're not funny. Yes, there's a big
different
difference.
animal.
Yes, very much so.
Got to take a break. We'll be back with a funny and talented man. A star of the Goldbergs. It's called the Goldbergs?
The Goldbergs.
The Whoopi Goldberg.
The Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay, we'll be right back. If you take anything away from tonight's show, take this. Wheat is good.
The wheat industry is your new sponsor.
We're sitting with modern-day James Brown, the hardest working man in showbiz. On the road, big junket here. The Goldbergs premieres on ABC. When's it premiering now?
It's in September. But you haven't mentioned my movie once. I'm actually
movie. What movie?
It's called Dealing with Idiots. It's about Little League baseball.
It's about disappearance.
Yeah.
No, it's Little League. Okay.
Dealing with Idiots. JB Smoov's in it.
That's
a lot
amazing.
of
JB. Funny
it's improvised. It's comedy. You know.
Right.
Didn't you have a movie earlier in the year that went straight to on demand? No.
It's
I'm
the
not
worst thing
joking. I'm
to
not
ask a
joking
person.
because I
No,
never
no,
saw
no.
you.
Hold on.
I saw you on a show and
Teach
you were
him some
talking about
etiquette.
it.
Teach him some etiquette.
No. The truth is, if you do an indie now, It is on demand, same
But I
time as the
remember you
theaters.
being-
This movie right now
Right.
that I'm mentioning, Dealing with Idiots, anybody right now can go to Amazon.com or
Right.
iTunes
But
on
you
demand
didn't-
and watch it.
but you
Even
were-
though it's playing in the theaters, it opens here in New York and it just opened in Chicago. It's opening in LA this weekend. You can still watch it. That's the new way.
Right.
Look, unless you're doing White House Down.
Because you were promoting that on a show that I saw.
Why
you
would
do.
I not?
Right.
I'm doing it being next to you.
But I wasn't trying to take a shot at you that it was so bad.
No, he
that-
played that up.
Right.
That's
right.
Artie sort of being
That's
edgy.
me being Artie. No,
Well, that's the new name of the show. Artie being Artie.
Yeah, so JB Smooth. The key to something like that is it's why the first Bad News Bears worked so well. Besides the great Walter Matthau, is the kids were funny.
But this
it's
movie
hard to find
doesn't
funny
focus
kids.
on the kids
Yeah, it's
at
hard
all.
to find funny
It's all
kids.
on the parents.
Okay.
This
So
is
is
about
JB Smooth is another parent.
He's one of the coaches. He and Bob Odenkirk are the coaches.
Oh, Odenkirk
okay.
too. Wow, that's
Yeah.
funny. See,
Yeah.
I'd go based on you three being in it. I'd go.
Yeah, you would dig it. You would laugh the whole way
What's the name of
through.
it again?
Dealing with Idiots.
Dealing with
Rated
idiots.
R, X,
What's that?
PG-13. Is it a PG-13 film?
It's, I think, R.
R.
It's an adult movie. It's not,
So now, when do you find out if you're doing Curb Your Enthusiasm again?
when Larry calls me and says, you want to do more?
He's got a bunch of storylines and he just sits down.
Yeah,
and
he
thinks
just,
of.
yeah.
Now, how
that's
true is that whole thing where it's not scripted, it's loose? And,
Completely true.
Now, I mean,
it's
so
about,
what-
an average script is about 7 pages.
so what, like me, you and I are gonna do a scene, right?
Okay.
And they'll say like, what is it be like? Okay, you have to start at the fact that we're at the diner and the diner has bad food, and we have to somehow get to, I don't know, the diner's owner is a relative of mine, and you're offending me or something for saying it. Like,
Do you know how much I would pay to be on a show with you and have you write it and direct it and have you give me the thing like that? So you're in the thing in the diner and the food's no good.
basically, that's what you're
However
telling me.
you're going to get there, I don't care how you get there. But, you got to tell the
So
owner
do-
the food's no
But
good.
that-
And when the
what
owner
are you
comes
telling me?
over,
Yeah, but-
you have an attitude, but he's going to kiss you gently.
Oh,
on the
Do you
Stop
get
it.
more from Larry David then? Do you get more than what Artie
I
just
read,
gave
I
you?
read the outline.
Let's
Okay.
start. You ready?
Yeah.
And action. Have you tried the wheat here?
And
heard
this
wheat's good.
restaurant, let me get the owner over because I'm going to tell him how bad this wheat is.
Isn't the wheat good?
It's terrible.
You got to try the
I
wheat.
love what you just did. Oh no! Yeah, that's a take you get known for. The oh no take.
Oh no! I'm like Home Alone.
No, look. No!
We're at the diner and we're flirting. I heard the wheat is good.
I love that show. I would never miss an episode.
Well, listen, tune in. If Mark Maron's show doesn't do well, I'll be there.
Okay.
Now, what do you think of the new television? Kind of like, what do you think? Do you watch Louis C.K.'s show? Do you like
Yeah, I
it?
watch Louis' show. I like Louis'
Hey,
show.
Louis is a brilliant guy. I've known him for a
Very
long time.
funny,
but
yeah.
And he's those shows. I love what they let him get away with. Well, you guys, of course, are so.
It's not a matter of letting
powerful
people
too.
get away with it. There's
It's
a
just
different
doing it.
attitude on cable than there is on network.
Oh, yeah,
That's
absolutely.
why I was shocked that I was given the script for a funny network
Right.
show. I haven't seen. Rarely is a network show funny.
Is it edgy? Because some of the shows.
It's edgy enough.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, a family can sit down and watch it
Okay.
together. It's ABC.
Right.
Look, The Honeymooners, At
their time, it was
Mary Tyler Moore, All in the Family. I mean, like, All in the Family that actually couldn't be on today.
It probably couldn't. You're right.
Yeah, no, it couldn't.
Well, no, we're too sensitive now.
And please read the paper while I'm talking.
No, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find storylines.
For me,
I want to
He's
prove
trying
to
to see what your
you.
movie's playing.
I
That's
want to
what he's
prove
trying
to you.
do.
I want to
Yeah,
prove to you
what do
that
you
this,
prove?
this Curb stuff is all bull crap, and I could write them. I could write it.
Oh, you're looking for storylines for us to do a fake Curb episode?
Yeah, right. We're gonna try.
Yeah, because Larry gets them out of the paper. It's like, there's Curb Your Enthusiasm and there's Law and Order. Those stripped from today's newspapers. And Larry comes in. This guy's guilty. I can feel it. I can feel this guy's guilty.
Hey Jeff, I just bought you another house.
Wait, look at me. No! I can hear Jeff stealing my character.
Yeah, I go to Larry David secretly. Listen to Jeff stuff. I can't tolerate it. I tolerate it for one season. Everything I do, it's barely out of my mouth. All right, I'll stop if you're upset about it. What do you
I'm
think?
not upset,
Can you get
but I
political? Can you get political? Do you think the
No.
Trayvon Martin? Do you get into that?
I can talk about anything, but I'm not funny with politics.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're looking for, not there's a lot
That's
of
a
humor
tough
with
one.
Trey,
Yeah, that's a tough one to be funny
but
about.
actually, if you're good at that, you can find an angle.
There's
here
people
and
who do
there.
it. There's people who do it.
Yeah, you know, and there's also that a lot of people. It's never too soon.
Well, I was going
Maher?
to say, is there a certain amount of time period where it becomes
I don't
a little
know because
bit?
I don't do any of that stuff.
Bill
you
Maher,
know?
another buddy of yours, I'm sure. Bill Maher, he can do it. He gets
I know
away
Bill
with
Maher,
He gets
yeah,
away
yeah.
with that. He does.
Yeah.
No, because Bill Maher's whole shtick is like, you're stupid and I'm smart. You're dumb. I can see you're good friends with him. I'm sorry.
No, actually, I'm not. But I think he's actually better than that.
Well, no, I'm exaggerating.
Okay, you are.
That's what comedy is.
Yeah, like those are your actual eyes.
Good one.
Look, here's the bottom line. The bottom line is
I've been waiting for you to get to that.
Break it
for like an
down.
hour.
Break it
with
down.
the thing is it's a stupid ass law.
It is.
Oh, right. It's a horrible
That's-
law.
but
Stand your
that's the
ground.
thing. Who didn't think this wasn't going to eventually happen?
Right.
There's a lot of laws like that on the
here's
books.
There are.
Oh,
And there's going to be more stuff down the road.
You're right.
I was really, the only positive I got out of this were the protests.
Right.
That people were passionate enough to go out in the street and be angry about
People
it.
make
It's
idiots out
present.
of it. We got to take a quick break. We only got a minute when we come back because Jeff is being very verbose. But
Loquacious.
the star of the Goldbergs is here, the Artie Lange.